on. I'm coming. I'm here. What up? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's Hot Mic Friday. Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. What up, fam? Y'all know what time it is. First of all, don't forget to hit them like buttons. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like button. People out on the back street, people in the chat, y'all know what time it is. Get them drinks. Go ahead and get that thing rolled up. Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Let me see who out here. Um, Sorry for being late, but we got a rainy ass storm going down through here. You gotta put dogs away, buckle down, shit, all kind of crazy shit. Bring shit in. So wasn't expecting that. But anyway, still, we made it. Tonight, man, we're gonna be talking about something that, now remember, we live by the disclaimer. Everything that we talk about what's going on in the past. Okay, I don't know. Hello? Oh, no. Sorry about that. I'm expecting a call and stuff and everything. So hopefully it comes through. But, back in the day, and I'm talking about here, we always go back to the past, because the past is what we do here, We don't tell anybody what to do and how to do, or basically all we tell you to do is live by the disclaimer. And before the night show is over, I'm going to read the disclaimer for those who don't understand what the disclaimer specifies. But we dealt with a lot of, in our years, seen a lot, dealt with a lot, and had a chance to have a variety of different dogs. And that was something that only experience is going to give you. That experience of actually raising these dogs and competing with these dogs over the years. You read books about it, you hear people talk about it, but to actually be a part of the contest. And tonight I'm going to be speaking about them special contests, them ones that you just, you look at the dogs and you just know damn well why the American Pit Bull Terrier is what it is. I'll be calling it the cream of the crumb. When I see them go, them 2.5, 3 hours of just straight bulldogging. When you get that little subliminal message when they be like, a boy be scratching like a bulldog. People use it in reference when they're trying to reference something, but you don't get the real effect of what that means until you've actually been in a situation where you know what a real bulldog is on. I mean, and it be on, and especially when you have two that have that Spartan in them. Those to me are special dogs because we done show many match reports here. And you'll notice the majority of them didn't go long. It wasn't something that was, you could look forward to every night. You just wasn't going to see them for them ridiculous times. But it'd be that one night. And you don't know that going in. You prepare for it like we prepared for it all the time. But then our preparedness came from seeing some great long contests. And you don't be thinking that was, you don't be expecting that. But when it starts happening, and you say you hit that hour 30, and you're still there. Things still moving right on along. I used to sit back and be like, this is going to be a long one. When it get to that point where you be like, this is going to be a long one, because now you see everybody's, they done settled in. This is going to be a long one. You see people start moving around, because at that point in time, it's like this, and you don't know who to up and who to down, or it's just one of them. It's almost like an intense moment, and that intense moment is intense like that. Every every minute past 1:30, and then you creep into that too. I mean, looking at each other. Everybody you hear everything. You got coaches on the outside. You got, sportscasters. That it was just an exciting moment. I speak on it because we talk about a lot about these Spartans. We talk a lot about dogs. Period. Everything from how they bred, the mindset of the person who was breeding, why they try to do what they did by just going in, examining. But then you go in and you talk about all the match reports. But then there was something when that time came as a factor. You can read it, but to actually see it and even be a part of it, you had to have a whole lot of respect for not just the dog, but the man who bought the dog. Because at that point, you know, it was like, and I mean, and most of the times that I've seen it happen, there were the moments to where you'd be like, what's wrong with a draw? At what point do you initiate a draw? But like in all competition, two competitors, two Spartans, and you're already in there. You're already there. You gotta let the chips fall where they may. And most of the competitors, they took it to that point, because at that point you want to see who is the better Spartan. Because at this point in time, we still here. Those are exciting moments, man. Those are the moments when you really got to stop and look at the dogs. Because that right there is the epitome of what made American Pit Bull Terriers American Pit Bull Terriers. Because y'all know, like, for anybody who want to question the moment, they will go all night. And they're not like most prey animals. I mean, not even the ones in the jungle. You watch National Geographic and some of these other shows that be out here, man. Y'all see how the predators work. When you got a predator and you on your prey, it's not too often, being your life depends on it, that your prey gonna really give up the scuffle. The ones that get in there and fight for life type of situation. But most of the time, the predator, he already got the ups, because I'm pretty sure that's how he got to feed himself. And but when you got two, like even lions, when they're fighting for leadership, they want to be the head of the pride. So they're going to come in and they're going to have to deal with old boy. Old boy, he been into this plenty of times. He have vetted this. And whether it be psychological or, that animal instinct that I guess most animals have when they're trying to do, create that dominance. Wolves do it. I mean, but I picked the lion because it's supposed to be the king of the jungle. But very seldom have you ever seen them, lock up and get it in like the bulldog. Generally, in most cases, in them things, we call them curves because they stop and they accept defeat and they just walk on away. Same thing we have in the game. Same thing. But very seldom do you see two lions fight to the death. Not too many animals out there will actually do it. I think there are some that would do it, with them lucky shots. Some of them bulls be cracking heads and get turned the wrong way and get that and the other, the competitor winds up dying due to their injuries. But when you're dealing with them bulldogs and see and be what is in a fucking dog's head, I can just call them good bred dogs. Some of them things are like a trait. Even though we never was ever expected to go long, and that's why we always wanted them high powered smashers, could bite hard, get in there regardless of how game you was. You got to withstand this tornado coming through, this beast, this monster, whatever you want to call it, that killer. You got to be able to keep that killer up off that ass. But sometimes you run across them ones that be like, okay, now you got two of them matched up, and these boys here, they finna put in some work, or these females here, they finna put in some work. This is fixing to be a long one. Man, to have something like that on your yard back in the day was a cherishable piece of an animal, especially if you could bring it back home. Like imagine if we had a lost buck, when he went to SANDMAN. Look at all the great dogs that would have been passed over. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even been nothing to talk about. Wouldn't even been a part of history. But they was lucky enough to bring him back. Same thing with the Jeep and Homer. Just imagine if Jeep hadn't made it. Look at all the great dogs that would not even been spoken of. And there's many more out there like that have been able to withstand that situation and make it home. But I just always looked at them ones who could do it as special, because not all could do it. Not all of them could do that. And the ones that could do it, you could almost see it. Like if you look at some of the great ones that had, it wasn't nothing to be doing an hour 30. Nothing. Most you see some of them out there. I know we just went over one. I can't think of the name of them, but y'all know there's a couple out there who went over hour 30 3 and 4 times, some 5 times. To me, those are special dogs. Because when you get special dogs like that, it was easier for people back in our time. You went after dogs like that. Many of them long ones, and if you've seen them or like them hour 45s. Most of the time, if you seen something like that, you felt like I could go get something. I could beat him. And I'm speaking back in our time. Part of the game was when you look at them long times, you know, you felt like you had a good one. People, it was easy for them to get on. That's what led to some of these great matches because them long ones, you had them people who just felt like I got the one to do it. And them long ones, boy, take you into that water, boy, and they used to it. You're gonna have a long night. I mean, most of the time, the ones who was used to it, they knew how to do it. And I always took my hat off to the ones who was there to take them to that point, but it didn't have enough to get beyond them deep waters. So that's why I always felt like we don't talk enough about them deep waters. See, them deep waters is what made these dogs what they were and what they are. The ability to get in there and stay in there until there's a victor. That's a lot to ask to me from any animal, but to be a part of the sport back then, that was something that was very rare to see. But when you seen it and became or was a part of it, it was something that was special. Actually, those are the ones you kind of never forget. You know, I always speak about, the radar martale. You, you would see that one in books, but it was a sight to see. Two great dogs, and radar had the right name because Martell was a dog that was eating Radar's ass up that whole 2 hours and plus, eating him up. But every time you pull that Radar dog back in that corner, here he come. Here he come. And he came like that over 3 hours plus. Getting, Martell was there to put it on him though. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like Martell was blowing through him. It was like what all he did and everything he did, that radar just wasn't going nowhere. He just wasn't going to just lay over and just go ahead, I'm done. And maybe that's what made it so exciting and why people talk about it. Why it was always that one to remember. Because you've seen really two great examples of some game ass American Pit Bull Terriers. And when you see it, you can't but appreciate what you just seen. And I know, again, we talk about the past. To some people, this might sound cruel or things like that, but again, I don't look at it from that kind of a standpoint because, again, it was still a sport back in our day. Just like, to me, the UFC is really no different. To me, boxing is really no different. Now they running around here slapping the shit out of each other. They're standing up there just slapping the shit out. Bam! Bam! If you don't cringe when you see shit like that, you know, that's what I looked at, how I looked at competition, American Pit Bull match dogs. They were just athletes. But then you had them, the ones that you couldn't help but were special. I mean, the epitome of a game American Pit Bull Terrier. Yeah, that just having one or even seeing it, everybody, anyone who has American Pit Bull Terrier, that's the dream dog. That to me is the dream dog because you never know when that time comes, but to know when that time do come, you got something that can withstand it and still come out on top. Tell you something, man. Not everybody had those. And as we ran through all the match reports, and some of you, oh, over the years have read many books and read about some of the great ones, but you'll notice not a lot of people had them. Not like that. And for the ones who did have them, you talked about them. Because you wanted some of that on your yard. You wanted that trait. And see, a lot of people look at that as like gameness. Okay? But in those situations, you're going to have a loser. Did it matter how that loss came when you got that much time involved? I never looked at anything that went that long. I mean, even if it stood there. Because there's a whole lot of them that wouldn't have made it that long. And then you got to really be a part of it to see actually, some of the things that happen when you in the moments. Because it'd be the moments when you know what a real bulldog look like. And for me, I have never seen anything go over 230. Now, I would say 245. It actually stood there in the end. I've never seen one. That literally went 2-3 hours and something, and it stood there. I've seen them not make the count. I've seen them pause and think about it, and then make that step and fall on their face. But they still tried to come. I've seen those. I've seen them ones that take the long way around. The long way instead of straight across. You take the long way like you fixing to sneak them. But guess what? They still made that attempt. It took them a little bit long. But see, I found them, it was hard to call them kind of dogs curs to me. I mean, it was just hard to do. And those were one of the moments where I always took my hat off, not just only to the dog, regardless whether it lost or not, but to the man who bought the dog. Because actually, not all dogs is doing what those dogs were doing. And to me, those are just special dogs. Those are real Spartans to put in that work. And it's not too many, like I said, that have done it. But when you running a breeding program, and like a lot of the fellas that we hung around, our mentors, though they were the reason why I was able to see some of that kind of shit, because you never seen it coming until it turned into a damn marathon. You never seen it coming. Or you knew that you could go all night, but you don't know if your competitor could go all night. So, you might have two that that put in that hour 30 like it ain't nothing, but you think he got one and to get him before then or outlast him. You kind of know when them is coming. So when it does hit the magic number, which be like 230, 245, you can't help but respect regardless of how it turned out. Couldn't help but respect that, man. And when you see enough of it, you kind of be like, you want some of that on the yard, but is that what you're trying to interpret that into your breeding program? When me, they all put and look, can you breed for gameness? As long as I've been around these dogs, I always felt it was all about the dog. Because we do a certain type of breeding, and you think it's all going to be game. How is it that out of a litter of maybe 8, only 2 going to work? See? And then if you selling puppies, how you know you keeping the right one? Because it was something else that was very seldom out here. Is when you had maybe 6 puppies and 4 of them turned into be champions and grand champions. That's what we be calling them monster litters. We don't have many monster litters in the history of these dogs. Not many. I mean, compared to how many dogs we talking. So the monster litters, you have to understand is how can you breed for a game dog? Well, I always felt it was always going to be a part of the dog. Because sometimes, if you understand these pedigrees and something, I think I talked about it last week, about your breeding program can go back 3-4 generations and pull something from back there and bring it right back to the front. And you got to be able to realize that and notice that. But how would you notice that? You got 8 puppies running around here. How would you know that came back? Because you're going to raise them. You're going to see something different. And you're going to be able to go back, pick up your papers, and see where it come from. And be glad, I got it way up here now. That's going to be the special dog. Didn't say all of them had to have it. But think about them ones that when you see it early, it's got that something that's not known to that bloodline, that you weren't expecting to show up in your breeding program. Whether it be the color, the body structure, the long ass teeth. I mean, it could be anything, but it'll be that one thing that makes it special that you can nurture. Gameness to me is one of them things. It just it's not guaranteed, man. That's what I'm saying. It's not guaranteed. Not to the point to where I call gameness. See, we might have different levels of what we call game. But for me, that level of gameness goes a long way. And it takes a lot to determine what made that dog game. And when they put in that work, you got to understand what a game person is. You out there throwing them things, and they knocking them down, but they keep on coming. I mean, knock them down, they still keep coming. And then they don't just be coming to get knocked down, coming to fix what was knocking them down and making corrections. They're now making you think he gonna keep on coming. Got you all shook up. To me, that's what gameness, you know, that's what it looks like for me. So I never was a fan of talking about when people be talking about that's a game, you know, them some game dogs, and you never know. How do you know that? What makes you say that? Because it came from a bloodline. This game, you know, if that was the case, everything that come out of those bloodlines would be game, and it would be worthy of something. But we know that's not the way this game worked. Not everything made the team. Everything wasn't guaranteed. So you have to understand that's what makes certain things special. See, I'm pointing out these little small things, you know, that are really big things simply because we're talking about the American Pit Bull Terrier. And the reality of it is, they were meant to be game, or would be game. But they're meant to be game. What is gameness? It's like a Timex watch. It keep on ticking. It goes well above beyond. And it has a certain type of look to it. Not a thought. It has a certain type of look to it. It has a certain type of drive about it. Got a certain type of attitude. I got a certain type of wanting to win, a certain type of that just willing to do all you can to win. That's a game dog for me. 'Cause I know what they look like. And ain't nothing like two game-ass American Pit Bull Terriers. And I'm talking about put in that work, put in that time, and then you understand why over the many, many, many years of these dogs' existence, that is what everybody was associated with when it came to the American Pit Bull Terrier. That trait, that word alone, signified the all round outlook of what an American Pit Bull Terrier was supposed to be like. And that's just keeping it real. Not saying they're all like that. And again, I'm telling you, they're not all like that. But that's what made the game what it was. Because you would have never known. You would never know that one night that it became your night that you find yourself holding between your leg a real game-ass American Pit Bull Terrier. The real deal. And it take another one to be in that opposite corner to bring that out of what you got holding between your legs. That shit was special. Because again, like I said, they all didn't do that. And over the many, many years that we spent growing up and being around and seeing the things we've seen, I mean, I feel comfortable saying that. And there's a whole lot more people out there who probably seen more than I've seen. But I know I've seen a whole lot. I'm going to tell you. What a whole lot of them game was out there. I'm just, you know what I mean, to put in that work. Not to that degree of anything over 230. That's a long ass time. And to go anything 3 and 3+ is even a bigger task. And to me, those are what I think are game American Pit Bull Terriers. So when we had that conversation, I think we don't talk about them enough. We talk about everything else, but we don't talk about them enough. Because we don't have a lot of them. And they hold, to me, in higher regard than anything when you're trying to justify American Pit Bull Terrier. Not them fast ones, you know, because you can have a dog that's so good, can't nothing stay there with it. That's a killer. You know. History has shown we've had them. We've had them. We've talked about them. But the ones we don't talk about is the ones who had to put in that work. The ones who you could actually say game as bulldog. You know, because we've had a lot of them that them Rascal lost, Snooty lost twice. We know Homer lost. I seen Nico lose. You know, great fight, long fight. But you don't have a lot of them doing that. Yeah, I can say, yeah, those are game dogs. The winners, they just get in there and, you know, 45, 55, 53. Yeah, no, I don't think, you know, time shouldn't be able to, gameness shouldn't be measured on time, which is hard not to say it because why you think we had so many short, you know, not too many of them long ones because at some point somebody got picked up or somebody quit. I mean, on the average, you know, hour 30, that to me, that's an average. When, you know, as far as a long one, but we seen a whole lot of that, a lot more of that, instead of seeing a whole lot of 230s, 245s, 3. I think we had a couple that actually went 4. Don't have a whole lot of that. And really, I think you can be considered a game dog at an hour 30. I said considered. Didn't say you was. You just ain't been pushed to that moment. And sometimes they don't get pushed to that moment, but they there. Which means sometimes they are gamer than their opponent. Because even out, to me, at hour 30, that's still a long time. You're still putting in some work, but you ain't started like, you know, you ain't acting like you started. But you've been there enough that you know how to get through it because you relentless. You just refuse to get up off of it. That's that sign of gameness. You know, because, you know, it's still up to how long they going to stand over there and take what I'm dishing out. See, that's where you get the curves from. So hour 30, yeah. Well, I call you a game cur? No, you just a cur. Because remember, my respect line didn't start until 2 hours. At anything over 2:30, you became special. Spartan type. It's finna be a hard day's night type. Finna be one I'll be like, now we in that game territory. And I know some people might have a different version of what that shit looks like and what it says, but remember, this is my opinion and my opinion only. My opinion is just always gonna be based on my experience, what I know and what I've seen. So you really don't hear us walking around talking about game dogs. Now I hear people, oh, he game. I don't understand why you say that. Because sometimes they throw the word around like it's, it's something big. You know, and I'm like, man, you got to, you call a dog game, you better have a reason to say that. Well, you're right. You know, dog ain't got a scar on him, but he game as hell. How is that possible? We throwing the word around like, and it's not meant to throw around, especially when it came to these dogs who are an epitome of what game actually is, and it what. Yeah, well, yeah. No, I'm gonna let you get into that because see, you got two versions of it. You know, pig game, and then you got the dog game. You know, dog game is the one I'm sitting here talking about. How do you know? You know, right? I'm gonna let you work on the definition of that because that's the one I'm talking about right now. I want to be like, yeah, they game is there. And I'd be like, how you know? Type of shit. You know what I mean? Oh, this okay, I got you right. This is the dog game. This ain't the pig game. The pig game, I'll tell you how I know. Dog game, you know, different definition of it. So I try to give respect to where respect is due when it comes down to other people's opinion. So it's not like to mean harm because you can argue about anything. But again, we try to take away anything to argue about because one thing you can't change, and that's fact. The fact is, anything that can go over 230 and still be able to try to do something, and seeing some of the things I've seen, even in losses, that game is a little bit different than the dog game. That pig game is just a different type of game. At hour 30, you stand in the corner. Yeah, we can't call you a game cur. We're just gonna call you a cur. I know that might sound crazy, but if you still look at all the match reports, 130, you know, that's an average of some good long ones, but somebody gonna stand there. And you can't take nothing away from the winner because it's not his fault because he might have been able to go 2-3 hours, but then his opponent just didn't make it, and it's okay. See, but then if you look at the statistics, you will see what was considered average long and what was considered marathon long, and why we still talk about the marathon long ones to this day. Actually, we can go way back and talk about some even older ones than that. Then the Buck and SANDMAN, the RADR MARTALE. What was his name? Boots. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna let Mo get in here because Mo know about all of them. I just wanted to talk about because we don't talk about them enough. But I always hearing that word game thrown around. Like, uh, hold up, we on two different types of what a game dog is. Two different types. To me, that's where I was at with that. And we're gonna use things of the past to show you the difference. What a marathon and what a real American Pit Bull Spartan act like. And what it felt like to have one. And the pleasure of what it was to even be a part of an event where you could just go out on your yard and know that's a game motherfucker right there. How you know? Did 317. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I feel you. He did 230. Okay. Oh shit. Damn. He went 2. I feel you. I respect that right there. You know, because you got again. I'm only speaking based on what I have seen, what it felt like to act, not only just see it, even be a part of it. So it's kind of, trying to get y'all into understanding a different look of when you talk about game. Because the American Pit Bull Terrier is game for one reason and one reason only. He'll be there all night if that's what it takes. And that right there is why we use the word game. It's on you, Mo. Money on his head. Got that money on that head. Shit. It's for the win. For the win.
I need my computer.
Okay, well, you talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over and look at some of the old. I always thought it was bread. You can look at the match report. You ain't no five.
What's up, everybody? I'm sorry I'm late again. I'm gonna come to y'all give you the same excuse I gave you the last 2 times. I got dogs, man. I got these Malinois puppies, and there's 2 litters here. So I'm trying to stay up on the puppy thing, and there's a time schedule. They always end up getting me jammed up on Tuesdays and Fridays. So just bear with me. It's going to be over here in a minute. It's going to be over. They're getting up there where I don't have to worry about it. But how y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming out here on this Hot Mic Friday. I think y'all talking about a serious subject tonight when we start talking about gameness. And then you got different levels. You hear people say different levels of gameness. And which is true because I mean, here's my point. Now, when we were calling our dogs and you went down, then that part right there in itself is right there. He is not a match dog, not a match dog for us. So while he down, let's check his gameness. You see what I'm saying? So he ain't match dog game. That's for damn sure. Because he won't make it to the box that way, not when he done went down. So let's see how game he is. And then those are the ones that you cannot call him a game match dog. That's for sure. He's not a game match dog. So we just call him a game bulldog because say we tested him and we tested him through the grind. He's not good enough to bet on, but he was game enough to want to stay there. That's how you make it back to the chain space. But you cannot compare that game dog right there. I can never compare that dog to a match dog. A match game dog. Them 2 different dogs right there. This dog couldn't even make it to the box. But he showed he was game because he didn't quit when we put him down. The only reason he couldn't make it to it because he went down. Once he go down, he's not even worth the bet. Can't go down being free. So you might as well leave him down there to make sure you got the right thing going back on the yard. And the best way to do that is leave him there and let's see what happens. Okay? Enough is enough. Because guarantee you what we put them through, they make it back to the chain, they get put back together and treated like they was in a match because that's probably be the last time that you'll ever get a tooth put in you. Because you only worth the fact that you're a game dog. Hopefully you produce better dogs than you. That's the argument. Now let's talk about the dog that did get past that stage and made it to the box. We're dealing with a whole different bulldog now when we start talking about understanding that word gameness. Because, see, there's a certain expectation now that you're here. Once you get to that square, now that you're here, there's a different kind of gameness there, Because you look game to get there, or you was rough enough to get there. Okay? Once you hit that circuit, then you get a chance to see just how game they really are, because that's where true gameness is being tested in competition. in competition. I've seen a lot of game dogs get beat up so quick and so bad that, you know, what they usually look game, you know what I'm saying, on any other circumstances or situation, this night they wasn't that game because they had so much pressure on them. That, you know, a dog does have a sense of thinking. Some crazy dogs are just crazy, straight out, all out game. You're just gonna have to just leave them there because they're gonna scratch until they drop. Those are what I call deep game dogs. But I like to see it in the match. I don't want to see it in a game test. I don't want to see it in a roll. I give more respect to a dog that has made it at least past that part of the game and made it into the competition part of it. Because the competition part of it is what built these dogs to where we're at today. Okay, so let's keep that thought in mind. We're still dealing with a different level of gameness because this gameness here has made it past the calling point. Now we into the point of competition gameness. How game are you for the competition? You don't know what you're going to be facing in any event to the point that you would be getting your gameness checked. You know, you have a good killer, good rough-ass dog, you know what I'm saying? Gameness has never been an issue with those type of dogs because you're never going to get a chance to test it. Because they're going to go in there and wreck your shit regardless of who you're trying to bring. These dogs got that type of talent. That's why you have some of these champions and grand champions never going over 30, 40 minutes regardless of what you was trying to put on them. You know what I'm saying? You know, they always finished off strong, running through shit because you just can't check their gameness. Their ability and if anything, they game testers. Because their ability is not meant to be tested. Their gameness will never be tested, but their ability is not meant to be tested because they are so rough. You don't have enough bulldog to force that dog into a situation where his gameness has to be checked. Because for that to happen, he has to first go through the barnstorming. You still in there. You done took on the barnstorm. You done weathered the storm. Now, because you're the one got to be game. If you can weather the storm, because in those long matches, there's always a up and a down. It's not no 1 hour and a half of just all out. You know, he worked him for a whole hour and a half. So you're telling me this dog just got beat up from the start to a whole hour and a half, and had to be some scratching going on between that hour and a half. So for a dog to go in there and just destroy another dog for a whole hour and a half, and he can't get rid of that dog because he can't stop that dog. That's a game dog over there. Because you gotta understand, picture this. Picture the moment. Picture what it looked like, y'all. Come on. Let your imagination run a little bit. Imagine that you are getting whooped on for a whole hour and a half. Yet you are still coming out that corner. You got a good handler. He's handling you. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping you in there. But every time he lets you go, he back on your ass. The only thing saving you is good handles and your gameness. At a matter of time, he will submit because his handler, if you know what he's got, you know what I'm saying, and you see he can't win. I mean, it comes to a point where you know you just can't win. All the hopes and, oh, maybe he'll fall out, or maybe he'll get tired of doing this and quit. All that right there makes you look real bad if it starts looking cruel. You can't stop him, but it's looking cruel. I would think that you would want to pick your dog up. He's been scratching all night, so I have no doubt that he's going to scratch again. But at what point does it take for you to pick your dog up? I mean, he showed pretty gameness because he's been getting beat on for a whole hour and a half, and he continues to scratch. Now, ain't that a different type of gameness than the gameness of the dog that got called, went down? No, he's not a matched dog. We game tested him. Why? Because we left him there and he continued to scratch. But he's not doing it in a competition mode. He's not doing it on a high level. So his level of gameness is always going to be in question to me when it comes to trying to compare it to a dog that went out there and did it for a whole hour and a half of getting stormed on in true competition. See, there is a difference there. The dog that made it to the chain got a possibility of, being a good stud dog. We can even say he was game. But what kind of game? When I'm talking about my match dog went an hour and a half and he was game, I ended up picking him up. I take a loss, picking my shit up, and all you get is a safe chain space for yours. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice chain space. You never made it to the box, so we gonna give you that game because you definitely did a good game test. But your gameness is only far as what your abilities were, and your abilities was not that of a match dog, so you're not a game quality match dog. Because I can talk about the dog that I picked up and call him game quality match dog because he had to show his gameness in the box during competition. Those are two different worlds of gameness. Two different styles of respect to Spartans in their gameness. Those that are getting competing dogs will always be considered more reputable regardless of what happened at home. Give me the dog that has to show his gameness in the box, in competition. Go ahead and go 2 hours and 30 minutes and quit on me. How'd you quit? Am I the fault that you quit? Did I make you quit? Did I hesitate on when I should have been picking you up? How many people had to tell me, man, twin, pick that dog up, man. What is you doing, man? You see you can't win. Well, okay. But he's still scratching though. But what you gonna do is keep him going until he quit or get killed? You know you done lost. So why disrespect a dog's gameness to the point that you make them quit? Dead game dogs are only dead. Dead game dogs are only dead. Okay? Name of one kind of dog that can get that type of respect out of me when you talk about dead game dog. That's a dog like Amber that scratched and dropped dead in the middle of her scratch. Dogs like that. Dogs that'll walk over there with no front legs, no back legs. Just crawl over there and still make a scratch and make it and complete it. That's game. This is a match dog showing this type of game. Okay? There's a total difference. Total difference of respect of calling it a game dog. Because he quit because he had a shitty ass handler and a shitty ass owner that made him quit. He got a dead game dog and he has a shitty ass owner because his dog kept scratching until he dropped dead. He could have went over there and just couldn't take no more and could have stood the line. But he continued to scratch because he had it up under him to get up and go do it. How much punishment are you going to do to a game dog? I've seen those type of things. So still, there's different levels, even in the match world of game dogs, because there's been game dogs that I've seen quit. I mean, how much punishment is he going to take? I mean, you sitting up here beating up on a dog who's not even trying to fight no more. Now he's hollering. Ah! Oh my God. You ain't got nothing left. Money gone. You know you done lost, but you're leaving your dog down there after all those scratches he did. And now you're leaving him down there to just get mauled on. There's no chance of winning. And did you call him a cur? Or do you call his owner a cur? I think any dog man that quit on his dog is a bigger cur than the dog. I ain't thought about that either, huh? Some of these guys just get out there in the matches, and when it wasn't theirs to win, they would just leave their dog there. You know? Looking for a miracle, whatever the reason is, that's the cur. We have those kind of curs. Do you put that type of cur-ass dog man with a good dog that he may quit because his dog had no other choice? You're going to leave him there? Nobody has dead game dogs coming home with them, so we can cancel that bullshit. I just said dead game dogs are dead. Bottom line. Usually dead game dogs are dogs that die drawing scratches. Dead game. So what's the other one behind? What's the next? So you ain't that. Let's go one more step back. Okay, let's go look at those. Let's look at those who got the curs as the handler. Do we let the cur handler turn this game dog into a cur? So y'all can call him a cur when he's been scratching all night, getting towed up and still scratching till he couldn't scratch no more fight in him. Now he's sitting here just getting the shit shook out of him and shaking all over the place, and he's hollering and whining and, you know, probably dog trying to kill him because ain't nobody stopping it. It looks rather stupid and bad, and it looks cruel. And it does. You know, and to call that dog a cur. The dog or the handler? That's the question. Some of this shit can happen in 20 minutes into a match. You get chewed up to the point that you ain't got no comeback. No comeback at all. None. Yet you turn around there and you pick your dog up and he give a game courtesy scratch. Oh, this was only going on 20 minutes and he's got a game courtesy scratch? Well, I would think so. Because what do you think he picked him up for? Was he supposed to be like the cur dude who left his down there? Why do you think he picked his shit up? It didn't take him a whole hour and a half to get in that situation. It took his 20 minutes to get in that same situation. But now he's laying there and he's getting in there and getting shook all up, and he didn't gave you 2 game scratches and shit, but the dog is just too overwhelming. Now he's on a helpless animal. But he picks his shit up. He picks his shit up and get that one more good scratch out of it and say, that's it. What kind of respect do we give him? Isn't he too entitled to the same respect for the hour 30-minute cur? His cur ass handler left him there to cur? Where's the respect? The 20-minute dog that got picked up, he gets to go home. Day game. Or just game. But he's only game for 20 minutes. When do you want to call him game for? Well, because he took 20 minutes of a terrible ass whooping. had a chance to quit. Just like that hour and 20-minute dog. The did quit when his handler refused to pick him up. Y'all don't think about that kind of shit because you ain't pitching yourself in there in that situation. They're the same situation, just the times are different. The position ain't because both times the dogs are both getting their asses towed up now. Now they helpless. You ever seen some shit like that? If you real dogman and been around, you know what it look like. Because we got a lot of those cur-ass guys out there who don't care enough about their shit. You know, it's like a pride thing. They don't want to touch this shit. They want to just, you know, now they're going for the bag. Maybe I can get him to foul out. Maybe he'll walk away. So you rather sit there and do this shit here, you know, all about the bag and fuck the dog. That's a fucking cur. If the dog quit on it right then, he should. Hurry up. Get this motherfucker out of here. Okay, quit. Just quit, bro. Okay, because if the handler ain't gonna do it for him, hey, we already know the dog already through. He done left him there to get beat through. So when he quit, you want to call him a cur? What about comparing him to that cur that you had at the house that made it, though? Who's back on the chain being called a stud dog. Who couldn't even get that far. To this cur, who got curred out by a cur, his owner. Only give up on the dog, that means just as much as curd as the dog is, sitting down there getting chewed on. So what level of respect are we supposed to give these dogs when it comes to their gameness? This dog didn't quit. This dog ended up quitting. I'm supposed to respect this dog that's sitting at home being called a game dog, all up for stud. All because, and this dog here, he's a cur now because the way his owner treated him, he made his dog a cur because he was a cur. So where's the respect coming to? Respect comes to the poor helpless dog that should have been picked up. The respect that he gained. Respect that he gained this. Different when you see him down there getting in a match and they working and working and working, and all of a sudden you start seeing, you know, oh shit, I ain't trying to fight no more. It's too hot. I ain't trying to do that. Yeah, they start to turning. They get hit, they start to whining. Yo, shit. Do we call that curring out? Yes. That's curring out. Okay? Yeah, that's curring out. That'd be a difference if he was curring out like that and you took him back to the corner and he's looking around your leg. You know what I mean? He's looking around your leg. Okay? Hey, he ain't a cur yet. If he's looking around your leg and they say face your dog and it's on your cur ass dog to scratch and he scratch. But that goes right back to doing that cur shit. I'm scratching, but I don't want to fight no more. At what point? At what point did you give the dog the respect? Because it's at that point right there where the handler becomes the cur. The handler becomes the cur. Because this dog is quitting the whole fight, but coming out the corner every scratch. Every scratch he's doing his job. He's coming out the corner. He got heart. He got game. But as soon as you put the other dog back on him, he's back to curring out. He don't want to fight no more. And his handler, he's looking at this, probably looking like he's embarrassed, and he's really just gonna let it go on and on and on and on. Because he done already curred out himself. He didn't quit on the dog a couple minutes ago. And the whole time this was down here running and looked like he wants to get to the box wall and jump, but the dog won't let him. But what is this handler doing? He's standing over there with the referee. He's standing over with the referee. You know, that part of the game right there is, you know, that's the part where I've always felt like there should be a rule. And it should have been a cruelty rule. I think we could have respected that a lot more if there was a cruelty rule in these matches. You know, shouldn't, I mean, they have them in boxing. They have it in the UFC where the referee can jump in and go, no more. For the safety of the shit, no. Well, why you think that we don't need it in today's time? In my time. I'm talking about in my time now. Why you think that would not, that would, to me, would have been a good idea? We're giving the referee the authority when egos and pride and the fact that we know we standing here looking at some, now we're looking at some cruel shit. This is not even competition. This is not even bulldogging. Now we're looking at some cruel shit. Okay? We shouldn't be wasting our time doing that. Get this shit out of here and let's keep it going. I believed in that. Just like I believed in scratch to win. I think we should have put the scratch to win in all matches. And we should have given the authority to a referee to call a fight if he deems it's become cruel. If you let your dog get down there and be chewed on and mauled on, and in the referee's eyes and probably everybody else's eyes in the box and around it, this dog has no chance of winning, then what would be the purpose of you not picking up your dog? Because you're trying to get your win another way. It's not even on the bulldog no more. That's why we need that referee to be able to say, hey, this match is over. We shouldn't have to be taking chances when it comes to being cruel to these dogs. You know, so that's just my point. Gameness is earned and learned. You know, you don't look for gameness on your yard. You find gameness on your yard. You don't look for it, you find it. Because everything that you think ain't game probably is more game than the shit you believe is game. Because in both incidents, guess what? You don't know the answer to either one because you ain't tried to push it to see it. If you don't make it to competition, then you're just a dog that didn't make it to the box, but you made it through your game test. There's just not much, you know, and they want to retire you as a stud for what? You know, I don't put much value to that dog. Better ask people about the dogs that did make it back to the chain on that yard. Go try to pull them up and see who was getting bred. See how many you find out there coming from Growing Hard that was getting bred for real. May 2. What's the other one? There was no other one. There was no other one. There was no other male getting bred around that motherfucker unless he was a match dog. May 2. He had already been, he made it back to the chain. He didn't make it to the box. He made it back to the chain. Does May 2 get the respect that Cycle got? Hell no. May 2 had a badass brother. I called him Mayo. He was Mayo. He spent the night fighting a dog who got off the chain. Both dogs died. But he was pretty good. He was better than May 2. He was more of the match dog. But, you know, my KP had done so much for him, I gave him the better one, and I took I gave him my pick. May 2 was my second pick. But if I knew he was going to go out there and let the dog get away from me, I'd have gave it May 2 and kept Mayo. Mayo would have got me in the box. Even though May 2 did produce some shit, then now you got me wondering what the hell Mayo would have been producing if I'd have kept him instead. You know what I'm saying? Levels of gameness. I'd have took Mayo level of gameness. If you were going to show me he was just as game as May 2 in the box, then I'd have been breeding Mayo. Because this boxers competition is always going to come before anything else. And everything else to me. So y'all guys tell me, think about it. Let's do a little pause in that little conversation right there. And let's just resort the conversation to the chat room and see what the chat room got to say. Mike's sitting at the computer today. Maybe he can catch some stuff. A couple people speaking up on it. I hope some people understand what I'm saying and getting it.
My man 517 SEK, what up, fam? He said, one man's cur is another man's champion.
He's right. He's right. Because you can take that same cur dog and put him in a real dog man hand, and he go take me off and win 3. You know what I'm saying? The question is, why couldn't the man that had him first do it? Why you got the dog and you able to do it? Which was the curve for this other guy. He ain't a curve for you, but the question will always gonna come back to you though, bro. When you go get that champion from that guy who called him a cur. One man's cur is another man's champion. Tell you something. No, I don't want them either. I want the cur to be the man and not the dog. So I can deal with that dog because I saw the handler be more of a cur because he quit on his dog. See, dog can only do but so much. They all don't scratch to die. They all have a sense of survival. It's still part of a pack. It still knows how to submit. It still knows how to quit and know when it's time to quit. It comes to fight or flight or die. And that's what it is. Once they stop fighting, you know what I'm saying? Now they got to go into survival mode. Once they're in that survival mode, for the ones that keep coming out that corner, they keep coming out that corner and they're in survival mode, then everything he's doing as a game dog. The only person who ain't doing the right thing is his handler by not picking him up and by continuing to leave him there. Again, what level of gameness are you talking about? I mean, here's the thing. In all long matches, guess what? You're going to see both dogs take bottom. Or you, in a long match, you're not going to be always on top. You're going to see, that's the thing about long matches. Because everybody's taking bottom. You ain't going to come in there and just go 2-30 and you ain't been on the bottom a couple. It's just you've been able to recover and come up, and this is what makes it a good match. See, RADR and MARTALE, they both took bottom. You know, Samson and Zinger, they both took bottom. You know, look at Buck, the SANDMAN, they both took bottom. Them long matches, everybody taking bottom now. You believe that. Ain't nobody just riding all the way out. Jeep and Homer, bet you believe Jeep took bottom too. You know, in them type of matches, it's going to be you're going to have your moment now. And in them long matches, that's what you're getting. You're going to see your shit on the bottom. You're going to be wondering if your shit can get back up because At some point, they got to take a break. And while they're taking that break, some good dogs can get in there and start wearing their ass out. And you got to see your dog come up out of there and cut his rest a little short, to get in there and at least protect himself and don't let this other dog run him over. But they all take bottom, back and forth. The key to the match is it continues as long as both dogs are scratching. Don't care who makes the bottom and who makes the top. They might be starting to come out of the hole a lot. Count to 10 and, back to alternating scratches on a whole bunch of out of holes on these long matches, because they'll be sitting up there and like stale chess pieces just on top of each other, not doing nothing. Why wait 30 seconds before you pick up an out of hole? No, wait 10 seconds. Who wants to sit there and watch them sit there and hold another 20 seconds out of hole? No, let's make it 10 seconds out of hole. Get them back to the corner. Get this activity back up. Waiting 30 seconds, to me, it's a disadvantage. That as a handler in these situations that you may run into at any time in your career, 30 seconds is a long time to be sitting out of hole. Whether you're on the bottom or you're on the top. Still not a good thing. So I've always been a fan of the 10-second out of hole grab the dogs. Okay. What's up? Anything else, Money? Like I was saying about the RADR MARTALE match, and a lot of those matches, it's really a back and forth situation. Shit, Wrangler, he went to a draw. Imagine them dogs steady scratching into each other all night. Just slapping on each other. Just all night. Okay, that was two good dog men to say, hey, man, look, man, you done been down, I done been down, we've been down together. Let's pick these dogs up. Let's go home. About 3 something. Like 3 hours, 4 hours. But look what he did. That's a long down match. You know what I'm saying? And they agreed, let's pick them up for the safety of their dogs. They ain't want to lose their dogs. Because just the same, why would I want to pick up if I'm sitting there on top of you? Tearing your ass up and know you ready to go. So why would I want to pick up? So what would be the situation that we would have to both see something that we both agreed to that, hey, let's call this a draw? Because some of these guys don't want to look like a cur. If you understand what that means, he's ready to pick his shit up. Because he's getting chewed up. But as long as they scratch it, that's the key. Each dog has their moments in these long ass matches that, that they had those situations where they are on the bottom. And it looks rough sometimes. It really looks rough. It looks rough. Sometimes it'd be like, oh yeah, it's over. Oh Lord, look at his tail. Look at his tail. Oh Lord. But they get in the corner and they start looking around their legs. Looking rough as hell, barely standing. Yeah, he over there. Is he over there? Is he over there? You know what I'm saying? And you swing them around and there, here we go. And those is game dogs. You leave him there and he quit, I still take him over the one that you got at your house that didn't even make it to the box. Situation of him quitting and the situation that yours been tested to be game is 2 different situations. Okay, that's the difference. Some of you guys ain't gonna like to hear that. All y'all got game dogs. The truth of the matter is, gameness is a word only used for competitors. You know, it's not used in a breeding program unless you're trying to steal the breeding program traits. It's not used in a calling program to have your dog tested and to become a game dog because he didn't quit. Maybe gave up a couple pounds. Maybe I put 2 or 3 of them on him, but guess what? He is not in competition. He did not make it to compete. All he made it to is to go back on the chain and be called a game dog. That is definitely respected, but you cannot get the same respect as those who get in the competition ring and get their gameness and their gameness titles, and those who even quit at 2:30, 2 hours, 1:45. Okay? Look at those dogs. And you want to sit there on the chain and feel like you got a better dog than that dog? Why would you believe that? Why would you even think that? This dog was put in a totally different situation that your dog couldn't even get that far. Your dog never made it to compete. And I'm not saying no names. I'm not even meaning nobody. I'm just saying, guys, if you're sitting in the chair with me and y'all listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not pointing no fingers at anybody. I'm just saying, look at it for what it is. For those that's really sitting there with a dog on their yard that y'all calling game, and then I'm telling y'all in your own sense of thinking that you may not have that dog out there that you think is that damn game, because a real bulldog, man, they ain't got to respect your dog. Only person got to respect that dog's gameness is you. But he's not a competing dog, so for a bulldog, man, you know, if he's not competing, he's just a game dog. Well, give me that game dog I saw over there, that one that quit about 2:30. Yeah, it's the way he quit, man. He could have been picked up. Or he started trying to run at about 2:30. His handler just left him there. See, he made 3 scratches after that. A cur is a cur? Well, how do you rate the cur that never even made it that much to even do what that cur did? It's got to be a standard in the curs. You know, me, I don't even see a standard. The only standard I see is, hey, gameness is earned in the box. The word cur is definitely meant for the box when it comes to dogs stopping and quitting during matches. And then you got dogs that's quitting during rows. We're talking about 2 different things. I think one needs to be where it needs to always be, in the competition, where we call Spartans Spartans. Why do we call Spartans Spartans? It's not because they over here chilling, but they from Spartan. No. These are warrior Spartans. They ain't over there. They're better than that over there. They was able to make it to the Coliseum. They was able to take their swords and make it to the front and get the work in. No, they ain't like them that's over there. You know, got one, maybe got 3 legs. You know, maybe he got a cut on his foot. Maybe he got an owner that really love him. You know, everybody got a story for those over there that ain't competing. You know, you got so many categories for those over there who doesn't compete, but have these game bulldogs. Okay, these phantom great dogs, but there's a difference. You know, you have to understand that. We speak about gameness, but we speak in the wrong sense. Gameness is actually the biggest thing in the pit bull game. Gameness. it's been spoiled because you can't even measure games these days because there's too much cruelty in the box. That's why we need referees to step up and like I said, everybody scratch to win. Then we have to make sure we don't have no curs going home with the money. Okay, we got curs going home with the money. You know, that's a black eye. Too much of that happening. So if everybody's got to scratch for the money, that makes the game keep it true. Now we got everybody scratching for it. You know what I mean? Fuck the money. This is for the prestige of the dog. New rule: everybody scratch. Everybody has to scratch to win. You're gonna have those ones. Oh, but you made it a rule and stuck to it. And what was the purpose of bringing that rule and putting a strong stamp on it to implement it into these dogs of what we were doing back then? The cruelty to the animal. That's what. To just leave a helpless animal down there because you got money on him and you're gonna lose it. You choose to be cruel. That's cruelty. Now, I don't know about everybody talking about fighting dogs and all that shit. To me, fighting dogs, it ain't as cruel as you think it is. I mean, shit, y'all, they sit there and pay money to watch the dudes on pay-per-view. In all aspects of the sport, busting each other up. And we supposed to be smarter than dogs. And y'all call that shit entertainment, and we call our shit cruelty. I don't get that part. But, so I'm not here to fight the system. Okay? But, again, we have different levels, or what y'all call different levels. And then I'll be saying y'all. I mean, my y'alls is the game as a whole. I mean, when you look at it, I know all y'all got experiences. All y'all that see that guy I'm talking about. All y'all have seen that guy that I speak on. Everybody have seen, at least in their little areas of life, y'all have at least seen dogs to do this. So, I'm going into the y'all. Some people in here that might be hearing that y'all and be like, is he talking about me? You know what I'm saying? And maybe, and I don't know. It's just your self-conscious speaking on you because maybe you fit the conversation. Can't get mad at me for having a conversation if I don't even know who you are and yet you fit in this conversation. I ain't talking about nobody in particular. So,
big shout out to my man Windmill. He said chest to chest, camp versus camp.
Well, that's how it was back then. That's where you got your answers from. That's what really enhanced the game of the dogs, and that's why those dogs was so many great dogs out there, so many good dogs out there, so many bloodlines that got revamped. Some of them got dismissed, but that was all in. It's all in the box. It's all built around what happens in the box. So, 2 rules that I wish I could do. Okay. Let me just move up a little bit. Hey, if you move this thing back about my face, maybe I'll come up toward the desk.
I'm trying to deal with the sound that can't catch.
I mean, that's what it's probably getting on my nerves. The mic is right there. I've heard this thing crack so much with it that close. So maybe I'm just sitting back, enjoying it. I'm not
normal like you're doing right now.
right, and that's cool.
And just watch the needle. It will tell you.
Man, I'm so damn tired. Damn that needle. I'm tired. I'm just sitting here having a show, and I'm not really paying attention to the needle. I'm just sitting here talking about the dogs right now. I mean, I'd be so tired. I'd be almost feeling like I'm getting sick because I want to go to sleep. I do. Mm-hmm. But I be into the conversation. We want some feedback because these are the kind of conversations that we have that nobody wants to speak on. But you go out there and everybody got a comment about the shit. But when I say something about the show, we got a Shark Tank. I'm looking for a response. I'm looking for input. I'm looking for debatable issues and things like that. I know a lot of stuff that I say, I know it's a new shock to the brain. It's something else to think about. But that's good because that means you learning and you growing and understanding. Maybe you'll be able to take to the basement, the rules of times change. And in time, everything changes. They always come up with new rules for everything. It comes to a point where you got to change the rules. Well, sometimes, it's, you got to change the definition too. Because, y'all done took the word cur and then just extended it. And some of them, you damn near then brought it down into a world that it really shows no purpose. I mean, the world of being back there in my time on a dog that quit during his schooling, we don't even call them curs. We call them, we don't even, they disappear and then that's it. We never hear about the dog again. So it's really hard to call that dog a cur when I can't remember the dog no more. Talk to me about the dog that quit in the match that went 3 hours and 17 minutes, but he quit. Talk to me about that one. I guarantee I can remember that one. You know what I mean?
What is that word?
Even the word gameness, it's been spread around like you take away the accomplishments of what it really means to be game, and then moved it slightly out the box. And now gameness is part of the yards. You know what I'm saying? Gameness has always been in the box. Period. Everything that happens on the yard is supposed to get you to the box. Because that's where the Coliseum is where it's at. That's where Sparta becomes Spartans in battle. You know what I'm saying? We can't take that from the Coliseum and pour it all over this shit over here that's never going to make the Coliseum. See, we're getting two different kind of indications here that, people might start buying your shit and you one of them ones that then spilled out of the Coliseum and yet never been in the Coliseum. And y'all sling that word game around like, with all these definitions and revelations and what y'all consider is game. Yet you don't have the main facts of your assumption of what gameness is. I guess gameness is only built for the beholder, or what you feeding, or the shit that you raking up. Gameness is really based on your personal opinion on what you feeding in your yard. And you can take that and look at other people's yard and call they shit game because they look game. Or the way he popping that chain, boy, he look like he game as hell. Look how he shaking that rope. Look how he scratching back into that mud. There's a whole lot of that. I mean, it's all part of the training to steal dogs, cows. But when you really break it down and really get down to the bottom line of what is American Pit Bull gameness, the true American Pit Bull gameness, it's supposed to be, and the only time that I've ever remembered was what was earned in the box. You can be a cur. Most time curs quit because they're trying to run. And then I've seen curs they quit and scratch all night. They might take 10 scratches before they finally stand the line. Maybe. But we call them curs too. Why we can't call why can't we call the handler a cur? How am I going to be sitting here letting my dog get chewed up? And my dog had made 10 scratches, and out of them 10 scratches, he never came back on top. I mean, my God, what are we trying to get here? We don't want him to be a game dog. We don't want him to be a game dog. We don't want to do something right for this dog that's still scratching, knowing I'm going to lose. Because he ain't slowed the other dog down either. He's still scratching too. So come on, y'all. Learn where you want to put that word at. And is it even suitable in today's world of dogs? That's the question for me. Is gameness even a considerable word? Because in the dog fighting world, gameness is everything. But it's the dog fighting world. That's the bottom line. That word is based on the breed and its fighting abilities in the dog fighting world. It's been that way since, they started really putting these dogs out there amongst the world to see. So y'all think about that too. You know what I mean? Because everybody's got a claim. Everybody's got a claim. And it's just what is your claim? What is your standards of gameness? Is he a game wall climber? Yes. Is he a game treadmill runner? Yes. See, those are game dogs, but they're not game fighting dogs. And the word gameness has always been used as for the American Pit Bull as a really accolade of a competitor. Might not be a champion, might not be nothing, but a competitor. He competed. A dog goes through a lot. They have to quit when they're competing. A dog can get mopped up quick and have to get picked up, or to get left down there and quit. Integrity will get them picked up. Integrity. It should never have to become a cruel issue. If I'm going to lose, let me lose with honor. I don't want to do it with cruelty. I mean, for real. That's where you guys, that's where they messed all this up at. Because they gave people a chance to make it cruel. You know what I'm saying? When they start looking at it and they start investigating and they start having their little FBI people and undercover people sliding up into these matches, that's one of the main things that they speak on. The behavior of the handlers towards the end when the match is coming to an end. Because that's where the cruelty falls in at. That's where the unnecessary damage that you're putting on the dog comes in at. And it's not going to change the fact that you lost. And like we say, you can go home and talk about the game dog on the chain, yet you'll take that dog and trash it. Yet he went further than anything that you was feeding over there. It's still on the chain, but you're calling him game. Things to think about, guys. Things to think about. Other than that, I've seen some great ones. I mean, RADR MARTALE was a great one, but I've seen him take bottom. The night that I see my dude beat Big Ralph and them, and it had a little change on it, some big change, but he was going down there like, he was 2-1. And that match went 2 hours and 36 minutes with a dog that I literally saw her quit in 9 minutes. Literally, I saw this dog quit in 9 minutes, but I seen her grow into a 2-time winner who was killing shit and went 230, 236 and beat her. Now, why wasn't she game like that night that I saw her? And why is this dog beat this 2-time winner, her first time out, in 2 hours and 36 minutes with a 2-1 odds against her? 2-1 odds against her. You mean I can't tell me I can't take that dog home and call that game bulldog? I can take that dog home and call that dog a game bulldog. I sure can. You know it. It'd be them kind of matches like that. That's a game dog. I mean, if Tommy would have stood there that night, she'd have stood there. She didn't have much of a back end, so it wouldn't have been much of a stance. But just imagine if she had to just quit. She would have never made the cover of the journal. But let's talk about it. She made a game scratch that made her a grand champion on a dog who really literally killed her. Who she really didn't have the skills to even be in there with. But she won. She went on to make the cover and she made grand champion. You know, and that's the great thing, because the greatest thing she did that night was that scratch. Other than that, she got smashed. You know, so gameness is not everything. Not to cover all. I think gameness is only used in the proper aspect of the dog fighting dogs, a gameness of a dog fighter. You know, and I just want to make sure, you know, that everybody understands. Just look a little deeper into these things and look at, you know, hit the rewind and really go ask these questions out there on Facebook and all that shit. Understanding my philosophy to it. My philosophy. Game testers, you test your homes, and that's all good. It's really nobody else's business about how game your shit is unless it's competing. What better way to have your game is checked is through competition. That was how it was for us. Just remember, I don't get on the bus like right now. It's like Uber now. Y'all know this like the damn metro at the bus stop. Y'all know it. 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? The bus gonna pull up and y'all gonna load up. It becomes a normal routine. But yeah, guys, lately, I have been taking care of some pups, taking care of some dogs, because people are having a hard time. You know, I love animals and I love taking care of them. And if you need help, I would do my best to help you. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up with, you know, these 2 litters here. One, which is my own, but the other one, because he needed help. Dog had 13, only 6 survived. That's not a good number for a dog to have that many puppies and only 6 live. And he didn't lose no more. And they made them over there with me, and they're being taken care of. But you have to understand, if anybody who raises puppies, I've been trying to tell Mike, you need to do a video of us walking the yard and doing a going hard video on how I take care of dogs. You know, I'm in an area where there's dogs that I must take care of because they can't let themselves out to use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And I don't let them wandering shit, and they're not on chains. They're on tie out. Some, the females will be out on tie out. Where, I like to feed them outside, away from their puppies, give them a chance to relax, and get them into that strength every day. Remember, you're doing the same thing every day. It becomes part of the routine, and they even understand. Here he comes. Okay, if he passed me and go do her, he didn't do this. And I'm used to him doing me before you do her. They'll start barking. Wait, man, you just walk right past me. Where you going? You used to get me before you get that dog. You know what I'm saying? So, very hot down here in Florida. We don't have puppies out there in that type of heat. Heat and puppies is a cesspool for trouble. Cesspool for trouble, and it puts so much stress on your puppies. I'm used to grabbing puppies and just taking care of dogs. I got a little air conditioner that I use on puppies when it's too hot outside. Yeah, air conditioner. Just, I use certain things. That's why I told Mike, hey Mike, let's just do a show on the care of pups. I gave you guys a show about how you mix your own Audubon. Anybody that lives down here in Florida, let me tell you this, and this is for anybody who wants to raise puppies. When puppies get hookworms at 3 weeks old, and you got worm medicine going in them, and they got hookworms coming out this damn long out their ass at 3 weeks old, it's a clear fact that not only did the mama have hookworms, but 9 times out of 10, the mama has coccidia. So when you notice the young pups, when they start feeding on mommy, for about the first 2 weeks, it'll let everything kosher. But around that 3 week old mark, you start noticing your puppy shit looking a little colorish and a little foul smell, and you got several litter here. You don't want the mama cleaning up that type of shit. But it was based on her, really, is because she's the one that carried the coccidia anyway, along with the worms. So a lot of people be having trouble, especially in the tropical places, and some up north, even when it's not burning up, trying to keep their puppies healthy. Prenatal care for bitches is a fact. If you see humans giving their wives, prenatal care, that means vitamins and taking certain supplements and seeing what their body lack and try to fill those things, it's the same thing with dogs. My puppies is just turning 6 weeks old, yet you would think these puppies was, I know it's August 4th, there'll be 8 weeks. Put it like that. August 4th, there'll be 8 weeks. But they're so big. People think they're like 10, 11, 12 weeks old because they're so big, but they're still just young dogs. Then you got the other litter, they starting to catch up, but the mother was not healthy. If the mother's healthy, then she can handle 13. But they're not healthy, she's gonna lose a lot of them, especially when they're young too, and very active. You just got to be able to take dogs and put them on certain things, and be able to take care of them. What makes it easier for you? Some people do, but the best they can. But I would like to just do a video, like I told Mike, of us doing a video with how we take care of the dogs. I think that would be a good video. Hey, Mike. I'm ready, man. Yeah, fellas. I hope tonight was a good night. I hope we can get in on the curse shit and the gameness shit. I'm surprised I didn't hear too much argument or debate over that.
Big shout out to Bulldog Jones, coming in with a 2-piece. Appreciate the love, Jones.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what of them probably sent me an email.
James Jones, he said, Twin, can you name the gamest dog you ever seen in action?
Gamest dog I seen in action. I've seen a couple good ones. RADR MARTALE is definitely my gamest. That would be my gameness. BJ and Charlie, they would be my gameness. You know, they had long matches. You know, they were game ass dogs. And that's why they continued to win. You know, game dogs have game matches. And Psycho. And the dog the Psycho went into. These are dogs that I've seen with my own two eyes. These were game dogs. You know, I seen one in Louisiana where she went 325, and the whole time she was losing. Her daughter was losing the whole match, and all she kept doing was scratching. She finally quit at 325. But she was never in it. The dog was so on her that the dog would take breaks, and no girl wouldn't do nothing but scratch. She wasn't really putting up much of a fight. But every time you took her in the corner, now you keep in mind, old dude got a scratch too. They're alternating scratches, so it ain't just like she doing all the scratching. He got a scratch too. So just imagine why they were slowing down because of all the scratching that was going on. Yeah, but I would have to just say Psycho's RADR MARTALE. About one of the gamers. Oh, I have to give it to Tommy Boy. Yep, Tommy Boy. She gave up a game scratch. Anytime you see a dog flop and flip and get there across the box when there's no chance of her winning, that's gamers. Just coming across this game.
My man Viking Family LG said, Twin, what's your gamers dog?
Psycho. Psycho would be my gamers. 3 hours and 17-minute dog. That would be the gamers. Everybody else, Pretty Mama, do we call it Pretty Mama game? No. Because Mama was, her gamers was never tested. It really was never tested. She's been in good matches, and everyone at Pretty Mama, she was a 2-time winner or better and all that. Problem with Pretty Mama was her gamers could never be tested. You know?
She had 2 best in shows?
Yeah, she had 2 games in shows and 2 best in shows. Now, I knew why they was calling her game. Most of the time when you got Brat and Mama on the same card, Brat is killing shit. You got Mama sitting around there looking like she come in there with that old drunken dragon shit. Come in there with the drunk shit. Yeah. Oh, you know one of them Chinese movies where it just seemed like you in there just getting your ass kicked, whack, 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 and you steady keying about the shit, and then the next thing you know, you doing the drunken dragon and busting them all in the head. Whack, whack, whack. Well, that's how Mama was. Her gamers was never tested. If anything, it was the dogs that she was on whose game test was. She was a game tester. Because she was the perfect kind of dog to say, I'm going to take and see what you got. And then I'm going to give you back what I got. And let's see if you can handle that. And that's why she picked up those best in shows and gameness in shows. Because she made it look like she was the best thing that night. And she was on there with the church boys, and they would have some game dogs, but that gameness, it was never tested. She never was in trouble to have her gamers tested.
My man Wimune, what up, fam? He said, was there ever a version of Buck Rogers?
would have to say Red Ruby Rudder Day, but Rogers was a connection to Brat. I mean, I have to say all of those dogs was about the same. I mean, Brat, the shit, Twisted Nico, Psycho, Mikey. I mean, these dogs, man, they, we like killers. We don't like the mama type of dog. Mama, we got from Storm and Norman, but she was a tornado. I would have to say she was like Tornado, because Tornado was just like that. Tornado was a nice, smart ass bulldog, and Mama reminded me of Tornado. You thought you could beat her. You thought you always had the right dog to put on her, and every time you put something on her, she always make it look worse than it did when it got there. You looked good coming in, but she always made them look bad going out. And it made her look extra good. Because you got Brat that's running through shit, yet Brat ain't got a trophy yet. I mean, we on 3 and 4 card shows and Brat ain't got a trophy yet. We killing shit. Ain't getting a trophy yet. Why? Because Brat made her shit look easy. You always think that, what is the right dog for Brat? You couldn't have said that to Tommy Boy when it came to Red Ace. Okay? I'm being honest. You couldn't even say that to Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy was not the right dog for Red Ace. She beat Red Ace, but Red Ace only got beat through, the rules of the game. But when it came to the Bulldog, Tommy Boy didn't have no answers for Red Ace. None. And a lot of those going hard dogs, and matter of fact, I would have to say a lot of Mayday bitches were all killers. Chanel, Brat, May, Annabelle, these dogs, these were Mayday dog daughters, and they were rougher than the males. They coming in smashing shit. What a Day, another smasher. She double Mayday. Red Ruby down there triple Mayday. Red Ruby Mama is off of Brat and May 2. That's just the bottom. Monster Dog is up there at the top. But just imagine that. And she was a straight killer. 7-time winner. People didn't know that, but I'm going to tell you to keep it real. When they crossed that Luke Kane into that Stone City shit and got Luca, come on, man. They have some good bitches, but they didn't have nothing like Luca. The Mayday bitches is better than the males. While y'all sleeping on that shit, there was more rough ass Mayday bitches out there than was Mayday males. I said rough. I mean, you have some bulldogs out there for sure. But rough, no. I'm in Viking Family LG. What up, fam? Representing Skull Country. He said, Twin, how was judo? He said, Twin, how game was judo? I can't tell you. I don't think it was dead game. Yeah, because we picked him up. No, I don't think he was. I don't know how game he was. See, when everybody is quitting on you, you know what I'm saying? How are we going to know? When everybody else is quitting on you, how do you know how game your shit is? It's game enough to stop everybody else's shit. That's how game you have to say, because judo stopped everything we put on him. And he didn't have to go long to do it. So I would have to say some dogs you just, you know, when you win it, you don't know how game your shit is. When everything you winning is either getting picked up or quitting. So I can't even measure their games that way because, you know, we got to measure the dogs that's quitting on them. William says, Sassy 2, was she your best producer? No. Her daughter was. Sassy produced some good dogs. That she did. She set the foundation to a lot of going hard dogs. And we got to keep in mind, Sassy's father, her sire, was Brat's littermate brother. She's the only dog outside of Menace, who was her brother. The only two dogs that came off of Little Mayday. The only two dogs that came off of Little Mayday, and they both produced dogs. Both of them. Menace produced and Sassy, only two puppies. But when it comes to the best producer, Baby, the registered married bitch, I would have to give it to her. Because she produced 4 champions. But she produced them in the fact that why couldn't she be an all-win when you got Mayday, registered married producer shit, and you got Stone City, the cream of the crop, and you putting both of them together. Shit, we knew we was getting good dogs when we took Little Buck and bred the Sassy Girl. We knew we was going to get some bulldogs. We knew. Because of the people we dealing with, we see what they got. I'm going to take this one right here and this one right here, and I'm putting them together. We knew what good looked like. And all we had to do is do it and get the results. And in the end, we got the results. Look, I didn't breed Maytoo either. I was bred Maytoo coming out the game. I bred Maytoo the Brat and had a litter of puppies. You know, and I always said, it's going to always be the bitches that throw the shit. You know, it's always the bitches that throw the shit. And it's not because of the type of dogs that they was breeding to, because Sassy, when she wasn't in our yard, she bred the hot dog, she bred the mugger. These was dogs that Jamie was breeding her to, and he was still getting ASCAP, ASAP, and Reno. These was dogs, Rhino, these was dogs that was coming off of Eli dogs bred to Sassy. Hot dog was a bone and stumpy dog bred to Sassy. They all, you know, she was just a producer. And I told you, I bred her ass so much that I know I ruined her when it came to her shit, because she started not wanting to have her puppies. She was going to kill all her puppies. She didn't want to have no puppies. So I just stopped breeding her. I was breeding her every time she came in heat. And she came in heat down there 3 times a year. And I ain't no lie, every 90 days. By the time her puppies hit 3 months old, she was back in heat. And I kept breeding her. But Baby would be the best producer. I would think Madame, if she had an opportunity, you know, I don't know whatever happened to her, but that Maytoo Brat breeding, I think was going to produce some hellified dogs. You know, I didn't get a chance to keep that litter. You know, I mean, they were still young when I let them go. But even Maytoo the Baby, you know, I had them puppies. Ended up letting a few of them go because I was going out the door. See, it was during that time that, just imagine, then I get out the dogs and then come right back in and really had accumulated even better dogs than I was getting out the game with. Now, I can't say they was better than Twisted Nico and none of those dogs, but because they were still young to get a chance to prove themselves. But one thing for damn sure, and definitely for certain, that I have some of the baddest young dogs, you know, that I had after the farm. You know, that after farm, because there was a whole nother generation of these dogs that then got built in between the time that I got out from the yard to the time that I moved into the city and made those connections with those dogs. You know, those dogs was like, okay, this is going hard on the upgrade, because you wouldn't think we would be getting these young dogs that probably would have been better than the dogs that we had at the time, because of the combination of the dogs that we had that was in the now. We had new dogs. When I say new dogs, we got dogs like Brick and Carnivore. These is dogs that's coming off the Nico and Stone City and Mayday shit. Champion Bozak bred, the Yellow Buck, Miss Nico female. We sitting up there with Lil Buck, Yellow Buck, Miss Nico male. And we just integrated and played with all that shit. You know, and I can't tell you about gameness, because don't look for going hard dogs to be game checked. You know, we game testing shit on our yard at home. At home. If you make it to the Coliseum on our yard, you best believe it ain't going to got a damn thing to do with gamers. How much pressure can you take? That's what you getting run into. A pressure cooker.
My man, Derek Lockett. What up, Derek? He said, have you ever started your yard over after a loss? Meaning you call everything to start over.
No. Start over? I don't think we started over. What we did is we didn't start over. We just added more. It was an upgrade. We didn't start over. It was upgrading. Remember, here's the thing. It wasn't about losing. What made us change shit is, let me tell you what it make me change. What it make me change is when you got good dogs. When we came from Carolina, we had some damn good dogs. But damn with that damn judo, you know, when we started putting judo on our own shit, like Blood in them, they was the same line of dogs. They came from the Carolinas. Not only did we was putting them on Blood in them, we was putting them on D-Ray and them dogs. We was putting them on everybody's shit. And he was taking their heads off. Okay, so he survived. When Mikey came, he survived. Crybaby, she survived. Dusty, when we lost with Dusty, we didn't get rid of all those Joe Red dogs. She was only one. Yep, she was the only one. And then, well, Dusty didn't make it home after that 205. She already had that litter. The rascal breeding had already been made. Again, there go me trying to match a damn dog, you know, shortly after she didn't have puppies. Because the same thing happened with Dusty. And she went on, her puppy went on to win. Her name was Crybaby. Good that rascal male. So it wasn't no need to change the yard. You know, the yard got upgraded as you go down and you don't make a team. You know, we always recruiting like any other professional sport, you know. You got to have a lineup. You know, sometimes you got to change that roster. You know, I ain't got to go out here and be losing a bunch of damn matches to change up with shit. I will not be out there finding out in no match that I got to change up my shit. You know, I'm going to know long before I get to the box that this shit ain't going to work. Because I'm going to see all I can for free before I start spending any damn money. So I'm going to see those changes long before I get to the box. I wouldn't need to change up nothing as long as I got that type of attitude and continue doing it the way I was doing it like back then. You know, it didn't have to do with any losses. I mean, I know what it takes to win. And for us to win, and all we had to do is have the right dogs to do it. We got the blood. All this blood got to do is just keep doing what it's doing, and that is produce the kind of the right dog that we need. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no need to start over. That's why we got You know, everybody thought we was Mayday, 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 Mayday. Well, yeah, I didn't never say nothing about Stone City. You know, I never said nothing about me running around chasing motherfucking evolution, said Cal. You know, never said nothing about those Max pups. Pretty Mama and Beetlejuice. There's always twins and Mayday, Mayday. Man, we had a whole bunch of shit. Before we had those Mayday dogs, look at this shit. We got low posse buster shit. Down there in the second generation, I got Molly B and Snooty. Top and bottom. Judo, mama and daddy was off of Molly B and Snooty. His mama and his daddy was off of Molly B and Snooty. And I'm not even in the game enough to know how great that shit was. The way we took Judo and got him, we abused him, and I'm not talking about abused him in a fucked up way, but in true reality, we was putting Judo on everything. That's how we ended up 7 pounds uphill. This goddamn wasn't nothing being able to get with him. He was like Kung Fu Judo. So Judo was a very good dog, and we didn't get no puppies off of him. We didn't get no puppies off of Ratchet. We didn't get no puppies off of Blood. We didn't get no puppies off of Mikey. None off of Psycho. I mean, shit, we didn't even get the puppies off of Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers had one damn litter. One litter. Yeah, he was bred to Sarah Cal in the shit. You know, that just shows you we ain't no damn breeders. Never have been. We make what we need. And that's it. You know, we ain't trying to go and be Walmart or come pick a pup type shit. No, the breeders we made for competition, not for pretty pedigrees, you know. Any more questions? Because we're getting there close to that end. I'm glad y'all asked me some questions. You asked me the baddest dog I ever had, though. I'm going to have to put it on Brat and Buck Rogers.
My man Wimmu. What up, Wimmu? Big shout out to my man Lil Rock.
What's up, Lil Rock?
He said R.I.P. to Billy Stevens, TDK.
Okay.
My man Wimmu said the average weight in the yard was a testimony in itself. Should the yard have a weight limit, or the family of dogs order that?
Well, that's why I said our Mayday dogs weren't big dogs. Our Stone City dogs weren't big dogs. You know, we ain't had no yellow butt running around there at no 55. We didn't have no 60-pound Mayday dog running around there. Our average match weight was 42. That's about how high as we went. We didn't have nothing bigger than that. And so my Mayday was having all these big ass dogs. We was having all these little dogs and pretty much success with the little dogs. I mean, Water Day was a little dog. I'm sure Red Ruby was definitely a little dog. Rat was a little dog. But Rogers was a little dog. 42 for him was little. Because you look at him, you would thought he was about a 48 the way he looked. Put him on the scale, and that scale would go right down to 41. That's why everybody was scared of his ass. I don't know what twin them doing with that shit, man. But this dude's bringing these big ass dogs. Brat another one. Brat was a big bitch. 36, 37, 35, 36, 37. Each time going up and up. Because she was a big bitch, bigger than everything else we was putting on her. But Rogers the same way. They look at these dogs, man. Ain't no way in the fuck these dogs making weight, man. Look how big these dogs is. They ain't using our scale either. So our dogs looked at bigger and on roids You know, it was just something about those. It was something in that line of dogs, man. It just seemed like they didn't. You could pick them up. They always felt light. It's like they had light bones. You know, they wasn't solid. Rat was solid. She was solid, but she wasn't like, for her size, you would think that she would have been like a 44, 43. Look at her next to Mayday. That's a 37-pound bitch standing there next to Mayday. Wrecking machine, too. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even think it's, you know what it is in our yard, what really turns us on. What turns us on is this good old-fashioned matchdog. That's it. Matchdog. It was nothing more enjoying to have a matchdog that made it on the grade. And I would have to say that to any kennel out there that was back there during our time. And the great kennels, you better not forget them because, I'm getting tired of hearing about this James Crenshaw shit and Earl and all these old dudes. Man, there was greater kennels than them dudes, man. Even though, they are the beginning of our time. Our time, we escalated that shit to another level. And that other level consisted of some pretty great badass dogs. And we don't speak up enough about those dogs because, of the people who had those dogs. Those dudes was matching dogs back then. That's why so many pedigrees disappeared and those dogs with them. So nothing good happened to fighting dog men with fighting kennels. Nothing. It always seemed like they get them sooner or later and they take everything. It's not the same as being a breeder. You're safer. So a lot of those great dogs that got taken never had a chance to reproduce. Nothing. But there was enough of that shit out there and there was enough good dogs out there that, going into the 2000s, it had, it was bringing the heat, but it was not changing the greatness of the dogs. But I can guarantee you there was a big difference between 2004 and that extra 3 years my man that had the journal, in his dog, in his journal, if you look at 2004 and compared to 2007 when he finally had to go to jail and look it up to that point, that little time period in between there, you could see where the game had changed in those 3 years. There was a difference. The smoke was starting to anticipate. It started blowing away. Now you can see clearly. Because all the great kennels are gone. A lot of those great dogs that could have got some great breedings out of them were gone. And that hurts. You got a lot of guys out there that just breeding dogs using names of veterans, and then the ones that are breeding dogs that's got other people's names that we never heard of in our life that leads back to some of these great dogs. They want recognition of the dogs like they sitting up there with Earl Tudor type shit on their yard. And I just look at that shit and just be disappointed in the mindset of the new dog man compared to the mindset of the old dog man. There's not really much we want to talk about unless we talk about our match dogs. You know what I'm saying? Don't even want to talk about anything that's producing out there, because if there's anything out there in the yard that is producing, when we talk about these match dogs, we know who that dog is. So why talk about nothing but the match dogs? Because that's the only thing worthy of talking about. You want to find out anything about any brood bitches or producing bitches or great males coming off a going hard yard, you're going to find them from the dogs just being matched. They write the stories for all these other dogs. You know?
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas, I need y'all to help me out. Get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. We have hit the 11 o'clock mood.
Any more questions, fellas? I just want to make sure I got everybody.
You know, they look at the pictures, you know, when we start the show, you got all of the dogs up there, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and you show a couple of our dogs. They all look alike, and their bodies was just phenomenal.
But that was the Mayday. I think a lot of that body came from Mayday and Amber. Because Red A's had a beautiful body. That could have came from AC2. But our dogs, I mean, personally, going hard dogs was just nicely built anyway. They were just built like that. But you talking about Elrod and them dogs, they're Jamie's dogs, you know, they looked in, and you look at Maximo and them dogs, you know, they was on some different shit, that's all. You know, that man was feeding his dogs raw meat. I mean, it wasn't nothing for him to have a deer hanging up there, man, and chopping pieces off, throwing that shit to the dogs. And their dogs grew up real muscular, real powerful. And then again, when he said, you know, he used to match Elrod at 43 to 45, and the funny thing about it, he was light, and he looked like he was bigger than Mayday. You look at Maximo, and you thought that he was some big-ass dog, and he was no more than 52. You look at their bodies, though, and you look how built they are. You know, I think it's just a Mayday trait that he put out there on those dogs. That would be a trait that I would give Mayday. And that's keeping it real. I would have to say it was Mayday. Because not just on our yard, it even continued afterwards. You know, they built these bodies that were just built like, you know, true Spartans, true warriors. The kind of bodies you want to see that, you know, would expect from a killer, you know, to overpower, had all the right tactics, all the right ability, all the right body. Those are just traits of a match dog. And can't say they didn't come from a great match dog, you know. And I think that's where you get those bodies and those looks. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be able to put them in shape and put those bodies to work to do what they were created to do, from the bloodline all the way up to the box. It plays a big part.
Appreciate that, fellas, because y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. I appreciate the love, fellas, but help me out, everybody else. Help them out. We need to get some more thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles. Muscles.
Muscles.
Now, give us some damn roses. Roses. We need them damn roses.
Show the love, fellas. You know, show the love.
Don't forget to hit them like buttons.
Now, I be feeling like OJ running through the airport to get here. I be falling over shit, though. I be stumbling and everything. OJ jumping over briefcases, I'm jumping over and falling. Bloop, doing tumble rolls all through the damn thing. Trying to drive over here. I just be so late, y'all. But, man, for anybody that got to take care of litters of dogs, you know what I'm going through. And I am an advocate that, you know, like I said, I have bottoms on my floors that, you know, my puppies ain't supposed to step in their shit. So, you know, I have crates on all my floors. But at some point, you have to pull the pans out and clean them things, and you have to stay on top of that, especially a person who lives his daily life on cleaning dog shit. Why? Because I don't like dog shit sitting around. And everybody has a time schedule. Imagine, I still got to take out my matting walls. Still have to take care of puppies and still take out the matting walls. Still got to move puppies around because they still got to eat twice a day. They still got to be maintained with the water. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the litters. At some point you got to warm them. At some point you got to treat them. At some point you got to give them shots. At some point, what about the mama? How is she snapping back? Why does she look so damn skinny? You got to put her back on her weight. So you got her to deal with. And I got 2 dams on the yard, along with the sire, and 12 puppies. Hey, man, this is the wrong time, 7 o'clock. I can't make it here before 9 because I have just in those dogs alone. That's a lot of time being spent. A lot of time. Clean up, feed, then you got to clean up again before you walk away. So it don't be so messy tomorrow. Because after they eat 20 minutes of eating, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna go shitting. And I'm crate breaking mine. What that means I'm keeping a whole litter in the house. And I'm teaching them not to piss and shit in their crates. And the only way I can teach them that is to be able to be on a time schedule. To move those dogs where they know when it's time to shit, we know we going outside to shit. And it just starts working out that. Why? Because it's the repetition everyday life that they live. If this is what you're teaching them, that when they eat, they go outside and they stay outside until they're done. And then when they want to lay down and crash out, they come back inside in the other crate where they can sit back, lay down and crash out. I don't worry about the pissing too much because they really can't control the pissing. I've said this before in other video. But you can literally, it's everyday routine, and that really banks into, it really takes a lot out of me. I'm already old and getting tired. But it does, it takes a lot out of me. When I be sitting in this chair when I first get here, I be wanting like 5 minutes to just close my eyes and just sleep like this right here. By the time I get done with the show, as Mike trying to sign off, y'all ever notice me? It's like I'm barely in there because my mind and my body is so tired that it is just like it's just pulling me down. But, again, it's like putting me in the corner. As long as I'm making it here, that means I completed the scratch. Money on the wood. Game ain't over. We still scratching. So with all that going on, I just have to continue to apologize sometimes. I want to do more. I always told y'all I didn't like being in this chair. From day one, I wanted to get outside this chair. So after 2 years of this shit, you know what I'm saying? You better act like I mean it. I'm tired of sitting up in here. So I'm not as enthused as I used to be. Because it's already feeling like, if we do something more, because I'm getting tired of doing it this way. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much more that we want to do. So much more we can do. And we need more crowd participation, guys. I know y'all kind of listen. Like, this is church and shit. But, even in church, in this church, we still need testimony, communication, feedback, talk, be more open. I know we might be on such a high level that, that respect by not saying nothing and coming in this room to listen. I definitely understand where you're coming from. I know a lot of you guys is really taking that shit to heart because y'all really do that. And that's on some real bulldog shit. You are right about it. But, man, we need y'all input because ain't but so much we can continue talking to y'all about. Y'all got to tell us what you want. If you could tell me what y'all want or something interesting, we can make it happen. We can bring it up. Right now, I'm going through shit that I be wondering, man. I wonder if these guys are dealing with this shit that I'm dealing with, you know, because this shit could really help. And this is for the guys that like to breed a bunch of damn dogs. You know, I wonder what I would look at. You know, I always wonder because a lot of people see what I use and what I do, and they be like, damn, man, you know, it's amazing to them because having puppies is a total mess. Just imagine if I have my dogs on crates where they sit on a crate and it goes right down into the pan. They're not stepping in a lot of shit. But imagine those just got them in puppy pens. Imagine all the shit that you got 9, 10 puppies that you got to clean up shit. And you know, when they first start the shitting thing, there's no point of where they shit. So you have to be prepared to be able to put them in the right place. See, having a female, and you know, when she have her puppies, it's a nice place. You don't need a crate. A crated floor. When your female's having these puppies, you just put them in a nice cage with a floor. You know, every once in a while, when you pull her out, pull your puppies out, clean the mat, because she's doing all the best she can by licking up their shit, licking up their piss. You know, she keeps her space very clean. Very clean. I mean, and Sassy was the best at that shit. You know, Sassy lived in far worse condition in the condition that these bitches is having their puppies with now. You know what I'm saying? And took the best of that shit. She kept her shit clean. She don't want hay and straw all on her floor. She can't clean it. She used to kick all the hay out and go right back to the flat floor. She wants to keep her shit clean. And that taught me a lot because that made me do a lot of scrubbing that would, but in the end, I was, you know, it had its ill effects from the constant chemical use. You know, all the way to the point where, you know, too much is too much. You know, it did come back to hurt. But now, you know, I make adjustments where, you know, they're not on those type of floors. And now you're on these type of floors, but you don't have to do there and scrape and pick up shit all day long coming out those boxes. So many guys will let the puppy sit up the box and it'll be just shit every damn where. They play in the shit, they run around in the shit, and you know, I'm never been a fan of that. That's why I hated puppies. Okay, but we did the thumbs up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got the thumbs up, big shout out. I didn't get down. Fellas, y'all have to excuse me. I see my fellas out there with me on Lil Rod. My man,
Lil Rod
Foster out there. I got all my people out there. Hey man, y'all forgive me because again, my eyesight getting bad. I'm trying to not making no excuses, but I didn't get into this the phone thing. When I'm on the phone, I can't see it. And when I get over to this other computer, I can only go so far back. So I missed out on a lot. But I'm going to take care of that. We're going to get better at that. But one damn thing for sure. Let me get into this right quick here.
Well, I hope y'all watch this video and pay real close attention to the game and shit. Y'all know I hit some points today. And I know those points are supposed to bring up some type of conversation. Because some of this shit you don't hear everybody saying. I gave y'all something to go out there and talk about and put them all on stump. Oh, hey, that was a good point, twin.
All right, fellas. Let me get over here now. Hey, y'all. Appreciate y'all for showing up and showing out with us. It's Friday. Don't want to be out here too long. Hey man, we talked about time tonight because everybody couldn't make that time, man. I'm just saying, there wasn't enough of that out there, which made it special for us. And then being able to see it and being able to have it, you got it. It's hard to explain for the ones who've had to the pleasure of knowing what that actually felt like and what it meant to you to know that you had that type of animal between your legs. You know that feeling. And it's a great goddamn feeling. It's a great goddamn feeling to know you know what a real game dog looks like. When you hold one between your legs and you ain't got to just talk about it. He really be about that life. You know what I mean? Those are special. Those are Spartans. And the only reason we talk about it tonight because I'm hearing this damn word game coming up so damn much that I don't understand. Are we changing the definition of game when we're talking about the American Pit Bull Terrier? Because it sure as hell seems like it. And I just want to remind you what that word comes from when it's in association with the American goddamn Pit Bull Terrier. The Spartan. They special, man. They special. And they deserve and have every right to be called game. Why? Because they are. The only way in my book that you can prove that point, gotta put in that work, man. So let's just find a new word. I don't know what that word gonna look like, man. But everything ain't game. So let us take you back in time and remind you that yeah, there's some game ones out there. And not a whole bunch of game ones that could do 230. 3 hours. 4. I mean, you doing good, make it by 130.
Right. You gotta be talking about your dog at home.
A dog at home. Ain't done a damn thing.
Yeah, he game though.
He game as hell though. How? I just need to know how that is possible.
Somebody needs to explain it.
But we ain't here to create controversy. All we're here to do is tell you the truth based on going hard way of thinking. We didn't make this thing up. It's been like this long before us. I'm just seeing the names change and the definitions change and shit. So I'm trying to just understand while I'm talking to the community. What the hell are you talking about game? Is it a new way of just describing the American Pit Bull Terrier as a game dog? Huh? Are we that old? Huh? Come on, man. Help us out here. Hey, got any comments? Don't forget to leave them in the comment section. Hey, this ain't to put nobody down or hurt your feelings. It's just trying to keep it real. History will tell you exactly what we're saying because we didn't make it up. It is what it is. Can't go back there and change a damn thing. But the thing is, I want you to learn from. Don't fool yourself. Go back and read a little bit more so you have a better understanding so you'll be able to be careful about how you say what you're saying because you never know when you're going to be dealing with a real dog, man. So don't be shocked when you call this little shit game and he's going to tell you why you say that. How do you know? Never been matched. This is the longest time. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Don't talk about it, be about it. Keep your eyes on the prize. And if you have any doubt in what you got, all I'm going to tell you to do is put him back. Know and believe to yourself. That if I'm feeding it, he better always.
They better always.
I mean, damn it, he better always. You give a damn. Act like you know. That's a damn bulldog, baby. Spartan. Let's get out of here.
All right, fellas, love y'all, man. Big shout out to all the people out there. Ryan with Bo, Dabo, BBK, all you other podcasts out there. Y'all know y'all don't see me out there. I'm being very busy, but I'm thinking about y'all. That's why I'm giving y'all a quick shout outs. You know, I'm in the house. 7, 8. Definitely got to bring your uncle. The boys, Roster, Schoolboy. Just a little family, man. They've been around, man. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to send that shout out to each other, love. Till Tuesday, fellas, showing the love, man. Love y'all, man. Stay safe and be real. One time. Peace.
Peace.